Good afternoon and welcome to this session on networking and essential art for success. I'm Varsha Chitnis and I'm a visiting faculty to the Welingkar Institute. I'd like to begin with thanking Dr. Rajesh Aparnath for giving me this opportunity to interact with all of you here today. So coming to the topic for the day, what we would cover here today are three basic things about networking. Number one, what it really means to network. Two, why is it an essential skill today for success? And the third and the last part would be, how do I really go about networking? So, beginning with what is networking, it's very simple. To keep it very simple and basic, it's about connecting. It's about connecting to another person, having a meaningful connection with another person for mutual benefit. So when I say having a meaningful connection or having a meaningful relationship, there itself we are defining what it means to network. That means, yes, there is a purpose behind networking. It's not just about going for an event, meeting a lot of people, connecting with them, feeling good about it and coming back. That's different from networking. Networking is purposeful. However, it is not a one-time event. It is an organic process which is ongoing, which evolves over a period of time. So for example, let's say you're going for some event, let's say an alumni event. You connect to a few people there, you meet so many people there, and the event is over. What after that? The actual essence of networking starts after that. So it's just not about going, meeting a whole lot of people. It's not about how many connections do I have on my social media or my professional networks like LinkedIn or my Twitter or whatever. It's not number of connections. It is what is the kind of connection. So it's more qualitative, not quantitative. So I might have, let's say, 800 connections on my LinkedIn account, but if you ask me about somebody, I might just know a few handful of people. So this is where we need to understand that networking means actually making a genuine effort to understand and connect with the other person. Now, when I say genuinely connect, there are two elements here. How do we connect with somebody? One is we need to first know them. Only when we make the effort of knowing somebody would we connect with them. So, having said this, I'd like to move to the second section of what I'm going to talk about today, which is, why do I need to network? My job probably doesn't require me. Maybe maybe let's say I'm a research analyst, or maybe let's say I'm working in some kind of, let's say, quality control, or I'm an audit person, but I don't really need to network. I just have to do my work. So do I really need to network? That's a question many times a lot of professionals have asked me. So when we say success, what does success mean today? It's about delivering results. So how do we get results? So we get results only when we have achieved a specific task. Now, to achieve a task, we would probably need to get consensus of people. You'd probably need to convince people. You'd probably need to get buy-in of different stakeholders that you're interacting with. This will happen once you are good at networking, once you are able to make a connection with people. So let me share an example with you. when you're at work, so whatever be the function you're in, whether it's sales and marketing or whether it's vendor management. So I'll share an example of a vendor management, okay, with you. So let's say you are the one who is responsible for managing all your vendors' accounts. Now, when you're managing a vendor's accounts, if you are well connected with some of the people, some of your vendors, have there been occasions where they've given you some information which is floating out there in the market to which you had no access? Has it happened with you that they have come and, shared something, some information about some competitors or some new things coming out there which you thought was useful, and you went out and did your research and you started working with that? Yes, that is what it is. So when you make a connection with another person where there is a lot of sharing and giving which starts happening, yes, that's the point when networking has really started. Now, how do you really network? Like I said earlier, one, you need to be genuinely wanting to network. See, we are here to make connection with a human being, and we are all very, very intelligent. Unless a person is genuine, we generally see through it. So the genuinity is the most critical thing. Second, knowing the person. How would you know somebody? Yes, listen. Be in the present. How aware are you? And how much are you in the moment when you're listening? That is what is very critical to building a very strong connection to another person. So if I were to put it in the form of some ratio, it would be 80% listening and 20% speaking. So networking is not about going there, connecting to people and just telling them, this is what I am, this is what I do, this is what I can do. So hey, do you have a need? Just get connected to me. It's much beyond that. So before you start talking about yourself, if you made a genuine effort to understand and listen to the other person, the connection happens. The person would then genuinely want to know about you, and that's the time to start talking, or that's the time to start pitching yourself. Now this is something which I have from my experiences found many times. This is where very novice or first time networkers kind of fumble. So hold on, like I said earlier, it is not a one-time event, it's an organic process. So be there, hold, listen, let the person talk, ask genuine questions, and then start talking about yourself. That's number 2. Number 3 is your integrity. What are people looking for? So once they start understanding you, or once they get interested in you, what are they looking for? Any person is looking for whether how trustworthy are you? How does that come? It's about integrity. So what does it mean to be, how can you show that you have integrity in a short conversation? Well, what is important is, are you saying what you're doing? And are you doing what you're saying? So please be very forthright when you're going to networking events. If you don't know something, say, hey, I don't know. If you know, you say, yes, I've done it. That's very, very important. The next thing about that comes into picture when you're looking at, finally, possibly enhancing the trust is look for what connections you can give to the other person. So networking is not about what you can receive. So it's not about me connecting with you because I have a certain agenda, or I know you have some information which is going to help me. So I connect with you, I'm very nice to you, I take the information and it stops there. No, it's about sharing, it's about giving. So when you start off networking, it's more about giving. So it's more looking at it from a long-term perspective than a very short-term perspective. So if you keep a long-term view, you will make very strong connections. And what else can you share? So let's say you connected with somebody. Let's say you've gone to a forum where you meet somebody from the travel industry. So you get talking to the person. The person is very interesting. You feel that you have a lot of common things. You think a lot alike. And at that very moment, if you can make a connection, let's say you refer him to somebody else, or you tell him, hey, I know somebody, I can refer to you. If something like that happens, well, that is also sharing. So it's not always about sharing information and knowledge. It's also about sharing referrals or making connections. So when something like this happens over a period of time, maybe that event is over, okay? Maybe you finished that meeting and you've come out, or you've gone somewhere, you met 4 or 5 people, you've come out. What do you do afterwards? Do you follow up? So 48 hours is the time period. Because 48 hours, why? Because the human brain has a tendency to forget things in 48 hours. So while your conversation with the person is fresh in the person's mind, it's a good idea to make your connection, which can be either through sending a message or making a phone call, or maybe connecting and having a face-to-face conversation, whatever works for you. The follow-up is also critical. If you can follow through these 3 parts, that is 1, make the connection, 2, share, 3rd, follow up. This is a very simple process. If you can follow that, yes, nothing can stop you from networking and enjoying the whole process. This is basically to tell you what networking is, why it's important, and how it's done. Just one point here I'd like to add, that some people are really, really nervous and possibly also not very comfortable networking. And they come back and say, you know what, I go to these large forums, there is a huge group of people, there are a lot of people talking in groups. I don't know how I can just get in there and start networking or connecting. So for these kind of things, please remember, if you're genuinely wanting to connect, it's not about how many people you connect. It's not about how many connections you have, on your social media profiles. It's not about how many people you've shared your business card with or taken their business cards. It's about the quality of connection. What is the kind of interaction you've had? To what level? What is the kind of understanding that has happened between the two of you? That is more important. So you can probably start slowly, try a couple of times. And one suggestion for people, those of you who are, still playing around this idea and not very comfortable, I'd suggest trying your social networks. Don't try it in your office or in your, professional network immediately. Look at your circle of network. So your network could be your family members. The network could be your neighbors. It could be, the local dentist that you visit. It could be any place. So a lot of times, I myself have made many business connections just waiting outside a dentist. Sometimes you wait for an hour trying to get in, to get your turn to the dentist. Many times you get talking to people and there happens a connection. So it's just about you being genuinely interested and being connected. So having said this, what you could also focus on is, normally we've seen networking is perceived to be something which is a skill more to do with people who are in sales and marketing. Not anymore. How strong is your network or your connections with people within the organization? How networked are you with people all across the levels? So it's not about, okay, I'm a manager for department. Let's say I'm the HR manager, so I'm connected to managers of finance, I'm connected to the manager in the sales and marketing, I'm connected to the manager in my production. No, it's not just at all levels, because you really don't know who you would need to access when you need to get things done. So how strongly are you networked? That's a question you could probably ask yourself, and think about, a systematic way of building these kind of connections. If you look at powerful leaders who are in your organization, just observe them and see how their informal networks are. So today it's more about how much can you get done without using your formal authority. So I'll repeat that. Your success today depends a lot upon how much can you get done without using the formal channel. So that means without using authority. So if you can get a lot of work done, then yes. Why is that happening? It's because you've made connections. People value you as an individual. Probably people respect you. They know you're genuine, and that's where they're coming together and they're supporting you to become successful. So today, especially when you're working in the virtual world, I think it's all about connecting, because you're probably managing a team which is all across the country, or maybe you have a team members in different parts of the globe. How are you going to establish the connection with them? It's all through networking. So yes, traditionally, and it was believed that networking can happen only when people meet face to face. However, the dynamics of the business world today have proven otherwise. You can be well connected with anyone all across the world, and you can still get a lot of work done. So with this is what I wanted to kind of share with you. Now let's see what questions you have, and I'll try and answer them. I can't see the first question. Pranal. Okay, so there's a question here from Neha Chaudhary, and she says, how can we choose the right network as we are known by the company we keep? Okay. So here you're looking at, all right, so if, now Neha, that depends on what is the purpose. Now, what is coming to me through this question is, you're looking at projecting a certain image possibly. So if that is the case, then if you want to be projected in a certain way, that you make sure that that network is in sync with the image that you want to project. Okay, so for example, let's say I am getting into, let's say I'm moving my career from being a sales and marketing person, and I want to become a trainer. Let's say if that's the case, then yes, I want to be connected in networks where there are trainers, where there are people from learning and development, and maybe certain HR professionals, freelancers. Maybe I want to be connected with entrepreneurs, or people dealing in training material, or things like that. So if you're looking at something like this, then it's more about what kind of image you want to project, then you choose that kind of a forum. That's the first question. Second one, how important but please be genuine, be yourself. That's going to work great for you in terms of networking. So next question, can you please guide me on maintaining quality and genuine networks while not coming across as an extrovert? Absolutely. So for introverts, what's going to help you is make connections with people one-to-one. It's okay if you start getting connected with just one or two people. So ask for more one-to-one connections, Maybe you meet people, you feel the need to connect with the person, come back, seek a time to either speak to the person on the phone or through a video call or meet the person. One-to-one is what would work well for you. So it's not about quantity at all, and don't worry, introverts can be excellent networkers. Are there any questions that we're looking at? Okay. Thank you for being here, and if there are any more questions, I'll be happy to answer them offline. Thank you. Over to Venkatesh.
Well, Professor Varsha Chitnis, thank you very much for such an insightful session. It was